Hi, my name is Anne. Thank you for joining me. I wanted to give a 5D energy read. There has been a lot of activity going on, not necessarily with a lot coming in, but there sure has been a lot happening in our physical bodies. I think with the strong Capricorn and Taurus energy, we are certainly feeling a great deal of physical adjustments in the last little while, and I think will continue for a little while as well. Now, the ascension process does have a lot of physical changes associated with it, as I've talked about before. But I'm feeling really strong energies, certainly with the throat chakra, and a lot with the third eye and crown chakra. And I haven't felt third eye activations in quite a long time, so that they're very noticeable. And the other physical I'm noticing is in the sacral chakra. So there may be feminines that are noticing some adjustments with relation to female type of issues. There is a lot of feminine energy that's on the tables right now. And I'm kind of getting a read on, generally speaking, this whole concept, and it's been sort of weaved into my other discussions prior to this, but this whole issue of self-confidence and self-value is still playing out. There is a feeling of being trapped in fear or trapped in your own mind. So this is your own undoing. This is us letting our thoughts rule and letting our thoughts take over, when really it's we are in charge of where our energies go, especially where our thoughts go. And it's kind of interesting when you look at these cards specifically, in this picture you see that this light from this bright star that this person is holding in the palm of their hand is shining through to this person that's trapped. So you see the message here that's coming through quite brightly, is that we have the ability in the palm of our hands to make choices about what our thought process is. And great strides are being made in that department. Now, one of the other strong messages which has come through for me is this whole tie to the mother energy, whereby there may be some that are feeling, I want to say, mother issues, or holding on to perhaps mother issues. And I'm saying that because of the moon playing so prominently right now, and with the Empress card up, is this whole holding on to or denying that there was or is an issue there that's been percolating and that is now coming to the surface. And much of that is around projection, which is another big word, which means that others may often project their own insecurities of their own childhood onto their own children unknowingly, because they haven't been able to work through them, or haven't wanted to work through them, or have been in denial about it existing, which would be certainly a Taurus energy type trait, is the stubbornness playing out. I think some of that is coming to the surface, and that's quite hard emotionally to deal with, because when we're talking about the mother figures in our life, there is a very strong emotional attachment, and they can play out in quite a painful way. So if there's any feeling of being unloved and unvalued, then we may see some of that playing out. And I guess the advice I have, if that's the case, is as difficult as it is, you can get through it, especially if you sit back and realize that you are in charge of your own thoughts. And if somebody is projecting or has been projecting onto you, and you've been holding on to that or accepting that, and now you've come to the realization that, wow, this really isn't mine to hold on to, and then you can release it and realize it's that other person that is where they're at on their own journey, and let it be what it is, and realize that it's pain that they're holding. Now, in terms of the time issue, so there's a couple things that are playing out there with respect to time. Now, it certainly is a rather choppy water as far as what I'm getting. The 5D time is different, and I can't quite put words around it, what that actually means, but it is a different time concept. I lose track of time very easily. It goes very quickly, and I can't really keep track of my days very well. It's all sorts to blend together. But it can also mean, with respect to what's presenting here, is that there is some positive news. There actually is quite a positive message in some of the cards I pulled. So part of it is working through, again, some of these deeper emotional issues related to possibly your mother or the feminine energy that exists within all of us. And that can also be true of the masculine, who has strong feminine energy in the chart, or in their natal chart, that has been suppressed. And it's been wanting to come through, but there's been a bit of denial around that even existing. So we may see some of that playing out. And that whole concept around emotional autonomy. So, we are all charged with being our own, creating our own realities. And you really need to learn, or we need to learn, how to get more emotional autonomy and be able to kind of deal with our own emotions and manage them appropriately, and take ownership of that, take ownership of ourselves and of our own lives. We have some really interesting new things, energy that is coming in related to kind of a new life and a new beginning and new blooms and creativity and manifestation. And it's kind of interesting because we are, there's a lot of people shifting here, and these some very positive news around this becoming much more of a positive overall consistency, and that this is being co-created. So we are all in partnership, and we are all co-creating, and we are all working with sort of the higher consciousness energies all together. And that's just a beautiful thing. So I see, this whole shifting that we've been talking about. The frequencies are definitely more very high and very consistent now. So there's some really, really good momentum. There's a lot of new people that are onboarding and at the beginning part of the process and going through some of the experiences of these deep dives, which we are all doing a bit of that as we release and as we see and release in the Scorpio energy that is coming through. So yes, a lot of changes, a lot of physical changes, trying to stay sort of balanced in between the 3D still and the 5D, and that's not going to go away in this generation anyway. It doesn't. This is a slow shift. It depends on what timeline you're on, but yeah, we have to get used to managing and living in both realms at this point. So that's what I'm getting. I see a lot of positive news here as it relates to, relationships and the masculine and feminine balance, which is cool. So there's good things, but we have to sort of be patient and keep a positive outlook when possible and keep the vibrations high. Hope you have a great weekend. If this resonates, I would appreciate it if you would subscribe. Thank you.